Lopez. Wow. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Have a seat. Here's your microphone, ma'am.
Thank you.
Well, Jennifer, thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this.
No, thank you.
Living outside in Washington, D.C. was stunning tonight.
Thank you.
Stunning to see you again. We have some questions from some of the largest markets around the country.
Yeah.
We'll start with Erin O'Malley's question from Boston. She works at Mix 104.1 FM. And Erin says, you were so patient, gentle, and kind with the criticism you gave to contestants this year. Are you that gentle and patient with yourself?
Wow, what a question. Ooh, I didn't know it was going to be this type of session. This is going to be like therapy. Okay. Am I that patient? And I try to be. I'm not. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I do, just like all perfectionists, tend to beat themselves up a little bit. But as I've matured, I realize it's something that you do not want to do. And I try. I actually try to be more loving to myself. This has been like a mantra of mine over the past couple of years. You know, it's something that I've actually learned that has some real value to it that I'd like to teach my kids to do as well.
Grace Taylor at 95.5 PLJ New York City says, are you aware of the impression you left on Jeremy Rosado? He claims he has never smelled anyone or anything better than you.
He's right.
As a follow-up to that, I talked to him today, and he said he has not washed that shirt from the Top 12 show.
Well, I must have had a lot. Oh, he's so sweet. You know what? You know, that happens with this. You know, I was watching the show tonight, and I was looking at the journey of this year. You know, they show that package, that lovely package at the end, and you see everybody and people that you actually haven't been in the competition for a few months or whatever, and it's just, it's such a moving show, and I really, this is what I love about this show. And if I come back or if I don't, this is what I would miss about it, is the interaction that I have with these kids and the way that they move you and the way you move them without even trying. We're just being kind people to each other. I'm just trying to help them as much as I can. I'm just trying to do my job, to be quite honest. But something else happens, you know, because we're human beings, and that emotion and everything that goes along when you're in high pressure situations and things like that, it brings people closer together, and that's what happens on this show, and I just love it. I just love it. That and the music. And yes, Jeremy was very special to me. Today when he came up on the thing and I hugged him, I looked back at him and he looked back at me and he was like, oh, we just had a connection. But I think he's, you know, tremendously talented. This may not have been his avenue to share his talent with the world, but they got a glimpse of him, and it gave him confidence to know that he had something special. And I think he's going to do really well. If he decides to pursue it, really avidly pursue it, I think he can do amazing. I can't help it. I do that with everything that I do.
Showbiz Shelley from B96 in Chicago says, and wants to know.
Hi.
How hard is it to maintain your personal life with your incredibly busy work schedule? How do you do it?
I don't know. You know, I kind of integrate the two of them together in a way. Always winds up happening. But, you know, I take my kids where I can. You know, I have that type of freedom. I don't have a 9-to-5 where I can't take the kids to the office or something. So, you know, when I can bring them and it's going to be okay and I can give them some attention, I try to just integrate them into my life, and all those special people in my life, I try to do that in some way, because I know how demanding my schedule is, and I would never see anybody. You know, even my family, whether it's my mom or my cousins or whoever, I take them with me sometimes on trips, and you know, it's like, oh, come with me and do this, or come with me and do that, and it's an adventure for them. But for me, it's, you know, being able to be around my family sometimes and the people that I love. Yeah, because it's challenging.
From St. Louis, Paul Cook wants to know, what was your favorite performance tonight, and is there any chance you'll be performing tomorrow?
Well, now that you ask, my favorite performance tonight was from Philip Was Home, his single. I mean, I just thought they really nailed it with that song for him. It's a perfect single for him. It doesn't sound, it went different places. It's like, oh yes, of course, when he first started singing it, you're like, yeah, that's Philip. Okay. But then it went somewhere else that made it very unique. an individual, as an artist, which is what he is. And you would hope that they would be able to find a single that really did that. And I felt like, as I was watching, I was thinking Jeff Buckley a little bit, you know, or I felt remnants of that, and how kind of special and different that album was, that he did, Grace, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I just really love that. That was my favorite. Jessica, I love, I mean, you can't deny this little girl. She's just an amazing vocalist. She's an amazing vocalist. She's 16. She has a lot to grow as far as, I think, emotion and performance and all that, but she's only 16, and her voice is probably one of the most privileged of the past, I don't know how many years. I mean, I hear singers all the time with this show. In the past 2 years, I've heard thousands and thousands and thousands of singers, and she's probably the best. I mean, besides Joshua.
What about you tomorrow night?
Me, I will be performing tomorrow night. I'm very excited. I have a little surprise coming out. It's not really a surprise. People are talking about it on Twitter. I don't know how people find these things out, but they find out everything. So I'm going to be performing a new single that I have that's actually going to be on a soundtrack, a movie soundtrack, and for Step Up 4. And then we're going to do, Wisin and Yandel are going to come out, and we're going to do our first performance of Follow the Leader. Yeah.
Talk more about that single.
Yes.
Back to the questions. Casey from Philly at Wired 96.5 wants to know, how did you balance doing American Idol and prepping for your tour, all while being a mom in the past few months? And you kind of touched on it in the
Yeah. You know, it's that juggling act of every working mom. You know, I'm not inventing anything new. It's just you live with that guilt, and you try to do your best, and you try to, you know, not do too many late nights. And, you know, Idol can be very demanding, even though it's only a couple of times a week. There's a lot of other commitments that go with it. When we're traveling on the road is probably the most difficult time. But, you know, just have great help. You know, my family helps me out a lot with the kids, my cousins and my friends, and friends who are like my family. And, you know, and just try to do the best I can, you know, help them and let them know that they're loved and cared for, and be there in the morning and be there at night, and, you know, just like any working mom. It absolutely does. Now you know what that is once you have kids. You don't understand that phrase until then. Yes.
Detroit, will there be a season 2 of Que Viva, and will you continue the clothing line at Kohl's?
I will continue the clothing line at Kohl's for many years. I found great partners in them finally. That's something that I've always wanted to do, and I've tried before and didn't quite get it right, and this feels awesome. I mean, it's just like when you have that good chemistry with a working partner, you can really accomplish great things, and expect great things from Kohl's. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. It just happened. But they're a great partner for me, and I think that that's going to go on for a long time. A second season of Que Viva. The question of the year. I don't know. We haven't sat down to talk about it yet. You know, the show's this weekend in Vegas, and I'll be performing and along with the cast, and we'll see. You know, I don't know. I have to sit down with Simon Fuller and Mark and our partner, and Jamie King, and decide what we're going to do.
Awesome. Laura in Minneapolis asks, after Idol, People magazine's most beautiful woman, tons of hit movies, a perfume line, and a clothing line of clothes, do you still consider yourself
I'm tired.
Jenny from the block?
Yes, I do.
Although you're a tired Jenny from the block.
I was sleepy Jenny from the block.
So after Idol, it's nap time for about a week vacation?
No, actually, I have to perform this weekend, so I'm going to be going to Vegas to do that. I'll do the finale tomorrow. I'll leave to Vegas. I'll rehearse over there. I'll do that show. Then I come back, and I have 2 weeks before I go out on the road, so I have to finish up my show, which I had to leave alone for this week because of Idol and the finale. And so, you know, we're just trying to get her all done, get her all in there before we go out. I feel like when I get on the road, I'll be resting. I'll be on a bus and just doing the one show, you know, a night, a couple of hours, and then that's it.
You know, Enrique comes knocking later. He's like, come on, let's go.
Oh, God, no. I can't do it. I'm not that girl.
Head Crack from Dallas has a question. Head Crack.
Hey, Head Crack. Wow, okay.
In your opinion, out of all 11 season winners, who do you think is the greatest of all? The total package.
Ooh.
Out of all 11 seasons.
The total package? I would have to say, and this doesn't mean that's my favorite, but who I feel is the greatest and who has it's Carrie Underwood for me. Just the voice, the power, her hits, what she's done with her career, her look, her image, everything. It's just, she was the perfect country artist, modern day country artist, that could cross over and do the pop. I mean, she's an amazing, I love watching her perform. I love seeing her at Idol. I watched her on the Billboard Awards the other night. I thought she was the best on that show that night. I mean, she has it. She's the one.
The entire package.
Yeah.
And Joey from Oklahoma City wants to know, what's the biggest difference between this season of Idol and your previous season, your first season? What's resonated this year?
I mean, the first time is the first time. You know, nothing really compares to that.
Right.
I think with anything that's special. You know, it's just, it was so new and exciting for me, and I just enjoyed it so much more than I ever thought I could. I knew I would have a good time. I wanted to have fun. Like I always say, I was a big fan of the show, but I never realized that it would be as moving as it was and such a journey as it's been. But that first season, there's just nothing like that. You know, the second time it was like I felt like a veteran. I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing now. Last year was like I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how I was going to feel. Now I knew. So that was what the difference between the two for me.
So now we're moving from Idol into this new song that's been all over Twitter. Goon Rock produced it.
Yes.
Going in featuring Flo Rida, which is going to be
Yes.
a new single from a new CD.
I'm not sure yet. I don't know. Yeah, we're supposed to. I owe a greatest hits to the record company, and you know, just to be quite frank, to Epic, and then you know, or I can go ahead and just start a new album. I just haven't decided yet. You know, I've just been making music for the past, I don't know. I just don't ever stop. I just keep going with it. And these records like Follow the Leader and Dancing, they just kind of came about. It wasn't something I was like, oh, I'm going to sit down and make a record right now. All of a sudden, I don't know. Things started happening. Enrique called me. He wanted to do a record. You know, they sent me this record, the Goon Rock record, you know, and they were like, oh, nobody else can do this. You have to do this. But, you know, it was just like one of those things that just happened very naturally. So as far as an album, I guess if it keeps going like that, maybe, or maybe I'll just do the greatest hits and do a couple of singles. And I'm going on tour. It's good. I'm glad I have these singles, but it wasn't planned.
But this single, I think, for those people who've heard it,
have you heard it?
I may have heard part of it.
I'm glad that people will hear it for the first time tomorrow night, actually seeing me sing it. So it'll be fun.
It has the potential to be anthemic. I mean, we're talking about songs of summer. It has all of that.
Yeah, I think people are going to enjoy it. It has a great sound. Goon, he's just, I don't know, he's very forward with his sound. You know what I mean? What he does with his other artists as well. I just love that he thought that I could do this.
But it's a J-Lo anthem that pushes it over the top.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, and when Flo got on it, I have to say too, it kind of, everybody was just like, that took it over the top. And then it was like, now you have to do this on Idol. I went, okay. All right. More work.
On Idol tomorrow night?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, before I let you go, let's talk about the tour with Enrique. How are you personally preparing for that? Because that can be grueling. I don't know that people understand.
Yeah.
What really goes into that? There's rehearsals.
So scared. I'm so scared. I'm nervous about it because I've never done, you know, a full world tour, and that's what we're gearing up for. And I'll be doing that till the end of the year. Now, most people go for a year, 2 years. I've never done that, but this is going to be like 6 months, and it's going to be, you know, a new thing for me. And the babies are going to be with me, and it's going to be, I'm just going to see how it goes. You know, I'm getting myself in shape and rehearsing like crazy and building the show that I want to build musically and visually, and artistically for what I want to say, and just hoping to enjoy every minute of it, you know, and take care of myself so I can enjoy it. Where, you know, like you said, no late night knocks, going out and I can't do that. Like, I need to be in bed, and I need to get up early, and you know what I mean?
That is funny.
Yeah.
Well, if Enrique comes knocking on the door, I'm sure you have security that will handle it. Hey, Enrique, the babies are asleep.
Yeah, just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that. Yeah. No, just like
A
that.
little more caliente, you know. Jennifer, on behalf of all of us, thank you.
Thank you, guys. It's good to see you again. We have to do this every year. Okay.
On behalf of Pop Radio, thank you for helping to save the format and to make it what it is for all of us.
Thank you.
We've never been hotter, and it's because we have music that you are bringing, and we're excited
Thank
about
you.
the new single. We're excited about you.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking
Thank you, guys. Awesome. Thank you. Painless. Sure.
We'll do one. You want to do a quick photo? Yeah, come on in. We'll do a photo here. And then you want to take that photo real quick? Let's do this one. Yeah. How are we looking lighting wise? Is that okay?
I don't want to ruin this standing next to Well, you've got some great minds in the room. I mean, this is great.